Hi, welcome, welcome. I'm so glad you've joined me today. I am Kelly Pitts, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Lubbock, Texas. And I have createwithkelly.com and I also have kellypitts.stampinup.net if you're looking to shop for some of the supplies that we use today. Sorry I didn't have them in the description, but I still don't know exactly what we're making. But I have been working on my newsletter this morning, and it was very important to get that out to people so they could sign up for classes. So I just one thing at a time. I'm ready. All right, we're going to have fun today. We're going to use the True Blue Florals paper that are the product of the month from Stampin' Up. And I'm going to close some of these tabs up here that I've got open because I really don't need all those open when I'm doing a video. So let me get those closed while we're chatting. I'm so glad you've joined today, and you're welcome whether you're watching live on YouTube or live on Facebook, or if you're watching the replay. I'm thrilled that you're here. And if you need anything, like I said, any supplies, I can help you with that. If you need a new catalog, we've got a new catalog coming up, the mini catalog for January through April. And I have been rearranging my room, and it's a total wreck right now, but I have more workspace. I have a crew member who gave me a board that she had in her garage that just seems to be working great. Let me go ahead and show you this camera also. We're going to put this little double layout here, not that one, this one. There you go. So you can see the mini catalog. Isn't that pretty? That's all I can show you, though. We can only show you the first page or the front cover right now. It'll go live on January 6th, so you'll be able to access it online then. Or if you don't have a demonstrator already, or you're not a demonstrator and need a catalog, I'm happy to send you one. Just let me know. Okay, so what we're using today is not in the catalog because it is called True Blue Florals. And I'm going to show you some of the pages, and y'all are going to help me decide. Whoever's live, if I could see you in the comments, that would be awesome. So I know you're there and what your name is and where you're from and all that. But you can see this is a lot of different blue patterns. How fun is this to play with? Yay! And we're playing with some today. So I was just watching a Susan Campfield video of a fun fold that I haven't tried yet. So and I couldn't cut out the pieces because I was wanting to let y'all kind of help me choose which ones we were going to do. So I've just kind of barely started on that. But we're going to give you maybe a little screenshot of the sizes of the papers. I think I just covered them up. Let's see where they are. Like I said, this room is totally different than it was yesterday. So, goodness gracious. I wrote all the measurements down on a little slip of paper. Here it is. I knew I had it. Okay, let's switch over to that for now. And please give me a comment. Let me know you're here. And if you enjoy the video and want to share it with a crafty friend, that would help out my tiny little channel too. Thank you, thank you. Okay, we're going to switch this camera over so you can see this really well. And hope you probably can't read my writing, but these are the measurements that we're going to go with. If you want me, let me see if I can hold it up and it'll focus. And this is, like I said, I'll try to link Susan Campfield's video for this fun fold. She used a totally different paper and all that I'm using, but at least the sizes would be there. You might be able to take a screenshot of that if you can read my writing. If not, I'll put it on the supply list or somewhere on my blog or somewhere later. Okay, we're going to have fun playing with a birthday card today for a good friend of mine and crew member. Yay. Okay, the only thing I've done is I wanted to show you kind of how I cut the paper. And from the 8.5 by 11 cardstock, I went ahead and cut it at 5.5 to cut that half off. Then that leaves us with one piece that is 8.5 by 5.5. and I went ahead and scored that. These are scored at 3/4, 2 3/4, 4 3/4. And I went ahead and scored all the way down like that. Then I cut it in half. So now I have 2 pieces that are 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, which is the typical size of a card front. Okay. Then we also, as far as I got on this next one, is 2 pieces of 3/4 inch by 1, and they're scored at 1/2 inch. And I was just cutting and scoring those as as it came on live. So, I mean, it was showtime. It showed me, so I had to stop. So I've got those 2 pieces cut. So we're going, and I should have changed my blade, but I'm just noticing it now. So, okay, so we're going to have some DSP on the left and right of the card. This is kind of be a mystery card for you, isn't it? Okay. I don't know. It may be okay to just kind of show you Susan's card that I was kind of going by, so you have some idea of what it looks like. Hold on. Let me see if I can find this on my iPad. Here you go. That's a better screenshot. If you can get that. That's kind of what she did with her card. So it's a pop-out diamond fun fold. And her address is suestampfield.com. She does wonderful fun folds, tons of them. So we're going to be doing a version of this card using the True Blue paper. Okay? So that gives you an idea. Now, we're going to go ahead and cut the next piece. We've got these 2 done. So we need some... We've got the cardstock done. So now we're going to do designer series paper. And 2 pieces, I thought this would be pretty. I've got 2 pieces of this cut at 1 3/4 by 4. And that's going to go right on here on the front. All right. Or it could go like this. I don't know which way I cut it. I think it was like that. Okay. And then we're going to need a piece that is 1/2 inch by 4, 2 pieces to go on the sides here. So, and I want to show you what we're doing in the middle. We might ought to cut that first before we decide on what we're going to use the cardstock for that. Okay. I'm going to move that up there so we can use it for instruction. And I'm basically going to use this page instead of doing die cutting and all that. I'm going to cut a couple of flowers out of here for us to use on the very front piece. I'm just going to cut this out of here. You know, we have beautiful paper. The Stampin' Up! Comes with these wonderful designs for designer series paper. And a lot of times they're just so pretty, you feel like you can't cut them. But you bought them to cut up and share. So that is the most important thing, is to go ahead and cut it out so you can share it with others. You can make cards with it. That's what it's for. They'll make more pretty paper later. This one, however, you cannot get a second pack. You're just going to have the chance to get this one pack, and that's it. Because the product of the month is the new Stampin' Up! Instead of doing celebration like we usually do in January, which it's not going to happen this year, because instead of just having celebration for a month or 2, we're going to just have a product of the month every month. Isn't that awesome? So instead of 1 or 2 months, we're going to have a special deal every month for the year. And I don't know if it'll continue after that. Nobody knows, I guess, except Stampin' Up! Whether that's going to continue or not. But right now, that's the plan, I think, is to have a product of the month for a while. And this pack of paper is a typical pack of designer series paper that is 12 by 12, and you get 12 sheets, 2 each of 6 designs. So, and you will be able to get that product of the month with any $75 purchase. So you can purchase $75 worth out of the online exclusives that are current we just had some new ones in November, and we're about to have some drop on January 6th also. And, oh, shoot, I'm off camera. I wasn't even watching. Sorry, people. Like I said, I totally moved my desk. So it would have been in camera before, but not since I moved it. Okay, where was I? With the online exclusives, you can, with any purchase of $75, you can get this whole entire pack of paper for just $5. And it will be exclusive. It's only a certain group of folks will be able to get it because it's while supplies last. So they're not going to restock. They're not going to have more. They're not going to bring it back in another month. This is it. So if you love these True Blue Florals in this paper, you need to go ahead and find your wish list, use your Christmas money or whatever your craft budget is, and get your $75 worth of stuff you need. And then you can get this pack for $5 to play with. How fun is that? And I probably should be cutting these separately. I know it's too big to do like the whole thing. I'm just kind of picturing that we're going to layer some of these flowers somehow, either on Balmy Blue or Night of Navy, or kind of Secret Sea kind of works. So we'll just have to see what we think. Everybody who's watching is going to get to voice your opinion and help me decide. That's going to be separate anyway, for sure. And that probably is, that would be, let's cut this one off. And we may just cut that separately later, as I said. I wonder if we're going to want these leaves attached to this big one. And maybe we could use these little ones on the back or something. We shall see. And if y'all have any questions about the product of the month or any of the Stampin' Up! Supplies, please let me know. And also, whether you usually watch videos on YouTube or if you watch them on Facebook. Facebook doesn't really let us have all the links like YouTube does. And they delete the videos after 30 days. So it's, the YouTube one is a little longer term. And of course you could do this card with any designer paper that you chose. You just have to have more than one sheet that kind of coordinates, you know, so it looks good together. But we have so many in a pack, and even from different suites, different packs of paper that will coordinate as long as you use Stampin' Up's awesome color coordination to put them together. And it's wonderful that our designer series paper has, when you get a pack of DSP, it will have the colors that are in the designer series paper. It usually has most, if not all of those listed. And I think that's gonna break anyway, so I'm gonna tear that off or cut that off. Sorry, I'm having to do the fussy cutting live, but you know, all you can do is all you can do. We've certainly said that before, right? Okay, and I'm trying to leave a little bit of a blue border all the way around. And we may want that there. We may not want that there. We may want to cut that out. Depends on what kind of background we used. It's kind of pretty that way, isn't it? I kind of like that. Okay, let's start with that. And then if we need to use some of these other pieces, we'll keep that. We'll get rid of this trash. Okay. Thank y'all for being patient with me here as we figure this out. Okay. Now, we're going to see. We're just going to kind of play here And this suggests a piece of cardstock for the layer under the front at 2 1/4 by 3, and then 2 1/4 by 3. So do we want that to be like this? Do we want it on blue where that kind of blends in? You know, a little piece right here, and then a white greeting maybe that says happy birthday? Or do we just want this on a textured white piece, or do we want the white piece maybe bordered in the blue? Maybe we want the white piece. Let's see how this looks on the white with a blue border. If that's 2 1/4 by 3. Let's see what this is. Not that big. Oh well, I'm just going to have to cut into a decent size piece here. Okay, let's see if we've got 3 inches here. No, we've got 2 1/4 though. Okay, if we do 2 1/4 by 3, let's see if we want the flower just on this and on top of that. That's too much white. Even we're going to put some color out here, so y'all give me a minute on that. We're just trying to figure this out first. Maybe we're going to do, whoops, that's already the same size. So like if we did this little blue on that, maybe this is a textured piece, and then our greeting is just on a regular white piece. Let's see how that might be. We've got a blending brush that we could do that. I kind of like that. So we're going to go with, if that's 1 3/4, that's not, yeah, 2 1/4 by 3. So let's make this 2 1/2 by 3 1/4. 2 1/2 by 3 1/4. 3 1/4 by 2 1/2. Hope y'all had a wonderful Christmas and are looking forward to a fun New Year's. We're going to clean that out. If you ever have trouble with your blade cutting well, a lot of times you have gunk in your track here, and you can make the blade last a little longer by cleaning out the track like that often. All right. Probably have to bring that in again, but right now we've got a good start. Okay, what do we think of this with that maybe? Or either this is textured. I'm kind of thinking I want a textured piece. And then our happy birthday greeting on there sticking out. Okay, so if we do something along this line, then what do we want on the sides here? We've got this piece. Oops. We want to do it like that. That's a little bit close to that. I'm thinking it could be a little busier. Thinking that might be pretty. I like that. Do y'all like that? I think that's pretty. I think this one is too big. That's kind of overpowering. I like this. I like the scale, how the scale of this is smaller than that, and it also picks up the dark and the light colors. I think we're going with this. If y'all had a different opinion, sorry. I did not see it in the comments. So we're going to go with 4 inches across this way. And you want to, when you're cutting your designer series paper, if you don't really know what you're doing with it, then it's best to cut it at 3 inches or 4 inches, you know, so in little pieces that you know you'll be able to use as a card front or a card layer. later. Okay. So this is going to be, oh, well, should have been just, okay, 2.5 by 3 1/4 was what we we're going to do. 2 1/4 by 3 1/4. Okay, I'm going to do this. 2 1/4 by 3 1/4. Then we'll have that one little piece to do something with. That wasn't what I was doing. Sorry, people, losing my mind. Okay, we're supposed to be doing these little edge pieces. Okay, those are 1/2 inch by 4. That's why I cut that at 4. I knew there was a reason. I hope I cut them the right way. It looks like they go both ways, so hoorah. Okay, 1/2 inch and 1/2 inch. Let's see if those are big enough. Those don't look big enough to me to go right here. I would say they could be a little bigger. How about y'all? You like that amount of border? That's a lot of white showing, isn't it? I think that should probably be like maybe 1/8 of an inch bigger. So we're going to go 5/8 instead of 1/2. 5/8 and 5/8. Sorry, I know that was loud. I didn't mean for it to be. Okay, let's try this. Those patterns go together like that. Or like this. Oh, like this. Okay. So I'm going to put those over there. Oh yeah, I like that better. I like it a little tighter. In fact, I wish these were bigger. That's kind of a lot of space for me. Y'all can't really totally see the score lines. Well, I don't know. That would be closer to the score line. Would make that even. And then we even this. I think that'll be okay. We might want to change that. 1/2 inch to 5/8. Okay. Now we're cooking with gas, right? Okay, I'm thinking for this, we want to have a textured piece, and we have some brand new coming up in the new catalog. We have a textured white paper. Whoops, that's not it. Let's see where it is. Underneath all this. I'll be right back. I'm right here. I just can't reach it. Okay. This is called Whispers of Texture specialty paper. And I think that'll be pretty to play with. I haven't even opened it to play with it. I think you just get 2 designs. One is a stripe and one is kind of more linen. Can y'all see the texture there? Oops, how did I switch my camera over to me? Goodness gracious. Okay, there are the 2 patterns. Okay. I think we want this one. And we're going to cut that the same size of this piece to replace it, which this was we'll just measure it. We will just measure it. Okay, this piece is 3 by 2 1/4. Okay, we're going to go, doesn't matter on here. So we're going to go 3 by 2 1/4. Okay. Now we're going to grab a blending brush and some scratch paper. Here's some scratch paper. And we'll go with our light blue blending brush and some balmy blue. I hope I haven't been on camera for me that whole time. Gracious. Okay, we're going to see how we like this. We're going to start off of the page. Go in a circular motion. You can use one finger, you can use 2 fingers, whatever makes you happy with that blending brush. And always tap off. Tap the ink in there and then tap it off a little bit so you don't make a big smudge on your paper. Isn't that pretty how that takes that? It really shows the texture once you add the color. Can y'all see that better? I'm going to add where it's kind of uneven. Kind of a little more around 2 of the corners there. That's pretty. Okie dokie. We'll see what we think of that now. Brush up. Let's see how we like this with a little of the blue. Do we need more blue? We're doing okay. Kind of like that with this and a little white greeting. Little white happy birthday. I like that. I think we could go a little bit more. Do we want more blue at the bottom and lighter at the top? No, the greeting is going to be down here. It'll be white. So we want the darker down here. Okay. Have to talk myself through these things since I don't have any of this planned in my head. Let's see, that side's a little darker. Now it'll really show that it's two-tone or multi-tone because we're going to have the white on there. That white greeting will show up more against that darker balmy blue. Could add a little bit of navy even, but we don't need to go crazy. All right. Let's go ahead and glue these pieces on. And you could use liquid glue. You can use whatever you would like. Okay. Yeah, we'll glue these. We might not glue that yet over here. That's going to go here with this. Okay. We're going to get this. And again, would love for you to comment if you're on and watching. Would love to know who you are, where you're from. Let me get my little silicone mat. Now that I think I'm done with the blending brush, we'll do this. And go ahead and glue these on. And this, we decided, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to lay that over and go ahead and fold this. And it is Valley. And we'll go both ways there. Valley, mountain. And make sure this is lined up properly before you burnish it. A little harder to get that good crease out if you decide later it's crooked. Okay, and that's another valley on this end. And I like to crease it on both sides. Turn it upside down and do that. This is the same thing. This is a valley. Clip. mountain. And valley again. Okay. That's our two sides. That'll be, I think that's right. Well, this will just go that way. Yeah. So these are going to go together like this. So it'll fit flat in an envelope, but we're going to glue these two sides together. You can see our diamond coming together. Okay. So this is our front piece. We're going to glue this on. You could use your Stampin' Seal or use your liquid glue, whichever one you want. Let's see, this way. Ah! Right on my work surface, of course. I dropped it instead of... Okay, I finally got it to match. It probably doesn't matter at all because we've got that other piece in between. Probably nobody will notice that, but... Okay. Yeah, I probably should have been a little more white showing, but I don't like a whole ton of white. There we go. Now we got taken care of the excess glue. Now we're going to glue this one on this side closest to this score because we're going to have some space. You want it more where the border is kind of close to the same all the way around and then very close into that score line, or that's the way I'm doing it since I made mine 3/8 instead of 1/2 inch. Okay, because this we want to put like that. We're going to center that where we've got about the same amount of space there. Hopefully that makes sense. Probably should have done this first and then it would have made more sense. But see, if you centered this from left to right instead of putting this up next to the score, that would make more space here. So now we've got about the right amount on both sides. Kelly, quit rushing. I'm going to make a mess. Okay. Now we've got that side done. And of course, I didn't even watch the whole video of how she put all this together, but nevertheless, we may excuse me, sorry about that. We may just add those two pieces on the other side before we put that together. But right now, we'll go ahead and fix our front. This is going to go on here. Oh, that's kind of cool to do it offset like that, right? Or do we want it framed? Or a little bit offset? Then it's going to hold like that. Huh. Whoever's watching, if you want to let me know if you want it offset or not offset. We're going to pop that up on here. I guess we'll just do it straight for this one since I'm experimenting with how to attach it. I ought to do it with it straight this time. We're just going to pop that up. And I'm not going to put any in the center because we're going to put them on the little roses that we're attaching. Or whatever kind of flower that is. Kind of looks like a rose. Let's get this where I can see a little better. I think that's pretty close. No, a little crooked. If you don't press down too hard on your dimensionals, you can make a change. There we go. Now I'm going to press them down. Okay, now we should stamp our happy birthday on a scrap piece of white. And here I happen to have one. And you always have these long strips whenever you're cutting your cardstock into, if you cut it into card front size, you're always going to have an extra strip left over out of that 8.5 by 11. So we're going to get our Stamp and Pierce mat and our, I think we're going to go with the navy ink. Navy. Get these out of the way so you don't have a total mess to look at here. Move all that, Kelly. Okay. Now we can see what we're doing. And you want to always use with your photopolymer stamps, you'll want to use your Stamp and Pierce mat for sure. And I am going to use a stamp set that is, I guess I'm just using this one big block. I thought I brought my blocks in here, and I guess I did not. So we'll be using this one for happy birthday and to someone to celebrate. This is the Right Words that's in the annual catalog. And I have used this a ton. I mean, a ton for all kinds of cards. But I especially love this happy birthday and the to someone worth celebrating every single day. Okie dokie. We're going to do this. And I'm going to do it kind of in the middle so I can play with whether I want. I'm going to do that again. I've got a lot of these strips, so did I bring I don't know that I brought my stamp cleaner either. I need a checklist. You would think that would be easy to remember, but you know, you're off a week for Christmas and you forget everything. Okay. Can't tell if this is the font or if this stamp had something on it. Yeah, the stamp had something on it, I think. Okay, so we might just try another scrap if we need it. Alrighty. I'll use my, I don't really like to use wet wipes because you don't know what they've got on them. I hate to use those on my stamps, but in a pinch, they'll work. All right, I'm just going to put this on the back here. I'm going to mount that to the block. That same block, the only block I brought in here, evidently. And we could put something special over here and just put the greeting on one side and have you the ability to write on the other side, or we may put a little flower over there. We'll see. Now, we have that done. Hope y'all are having a great day. Thank you for watching, and I appreciate really you sharing with your crafty friends too. Trying to build my YouTube channel and learn more about how to do better videos, and y'all let me know if you have suggestions as far as what is a better lighting and that kind of thing. Would love to know if you've got experience and could help me. I can always use constructive criticism or helpful education, whatever you want to call it. Okay, now I bet we use some of these on the back, or we're going to go ahead and use We could do more of the same strips to kind of tie it in, these little ones. That might be fine. Since we cut those at 1/2 inch before, we could do that on the back while we're at it. You, of course, could use a different paper that's in this same series if you want. But if you use the one that's on the back here, see, that would be sideways. So that would not work as well. But now we're just going to center it. Since we're going to have white space all around anyway, I think that'll look better on the back. And these are the 1/2 inch strips. You know, the front ones we changed and did at 5/8. So y'all could do both sides at 1/2 inch if you want. If you think that looks better, totally up to you. It's your card. You create it your way. And that way, see, we can still put a little flower over here by where you sign it, or we can put it over here and then leave this blank. Either one would work. And my nose is running, so gotta take a little break here. A little nose break. Okay, whoever is watching, this is the back. So we just need to decide if we want to put that, maybe put that one little flower right there, or put it right here. Or go up like this. This could be like that. That kind of looks funny. I'd cut that off, but is that too crowded on that one side? Leave this blank? Or do you like this better kind of over here? Yeah, it looks better like this, doesn't it? I think we'll cut that off and just put a little one right there. Unless I see any objections, and I don't so far. We'll go ahead and glue that on while we're at it. Could probably trim that a little better on the bottom now that we know how we're going to cut that off. Fussy cutting does not have to be perfect. You just have to kind of get what you want close to what you want. And that is good enough. Nobody is going to judge or even realize if you've got if you're a little off. And again, you could use seal if you want. I like the liquid glue with the precision tip there for that. I'm going to put that right there. And I guess we're just going to attach those. We might want to do that after we put the front on. Seems like that's what Susan did, but I didn't watch the whole thing, like I said. Oops. I ran out of time. Okay, let's pick us a happy birthday we like. Let's see if we want to do that. And you can always mirror that cut. The part you cut off, just move it down here to this side if you want, if you're not an eyeballer like I am. And then you cut right against that, and you should have the same slant on both sides. We'll see if we like that. I should have left a little more room so I could tuck it under. Let's see, that may be too long. Okay, we may have to go across this. Which way did we like that? Maybe this is at the bottom and this is at the top. I kind of like that. Do y'all like that? What you think? What you think? Y'all happy with that? I think that needs to be a little bit tighter there. And again, your lines don't have to be exactly straight. Okay, let's try that again. Let's see, how did I have it? We can do the happy birthday like that. Or we can do it over here and put this kind of on top. I kind of like that better. Y'all happy with that? The looks of that? Do we need some little ribbon? We have some new balmy blue ribbon coming out. That's a little check that could be like right there. We'd probably cover most of that up with the happy birthday. Unless we did a little bow. That probably won't work there. Let's see if we did a little bow. A teeny tiny bow. See if we like that. Since we have it and it's new and we want to play with it, I want to be able to show y'all how it ties. And I'll always get one side that's a little fuller and one that's a little flat. Okay, let's grab our big scissors. Hopefully I brought them in here. Yep. I don't know, could be even smaller, I think. Let's see if we can make a happy little bow. I hope y'all can hear me. I haven't heard any comments saying that you can't, so let me know if the volume's not good. There's a teeny tiny, how cute is that? Little bow. Oh my goodness. Kind of messes with our where we do our happy birthday though, doesn't it? But the bow's cute. Is that too much? Dang it. Kind of is, isn't it? Okay, let's see if we do over here like a little sprawling thing and then put happy birthday like that. That's kind of a little better, isn't it? Dang, I wish that worked better. We could cut part of that off. Yeah, I just don't know how else we'll. You don't want to cover the center of your flower right there, do you? I don't think. We don't want it down there. I think we better just stick with this and maybe put some little embellishments of some kind. Although that bow is just stinking cute. But it's just too much with the banner. It's just too much. Y'all, I'm having a hard time making a decision here. What do you think? Bow? No bow. Bow? No bow. I think we just need embellishments, I guess. See how else we could do this. Well, we might could do that. Would y'all be happy with that? It just feels right like that. to me. I think that's what we'll do. And skip the bow. We might just do a little bit underneath the happy birthday. What if we did that? What if we just went zigzag zig under here? That would be cute, I'm thinking. And we'll use a little bit of Stampin' Seal here on the back of this. Okay. Now we'll go nope, that's too far. I want to go like this, that. A little bit higher up over here. Okay, Kelly. Work this out. Work it, work it. Work with me, work with me. Let's see about that. Ah, now it's too high on the top. But that's kind of cute. We'll just go a little bit shorter there and that'll make it work. Now, that's fun. Okay, we finally got it. Hooray, hooray. And we still have to do the mechanism on the card. I don't know how long we've been going here. Just playing. Having fun. Hope y'all are too. All right, dimensionals, dimensionals. Okay, we're going to use, I need an edge. I like to use my long edges for this kind of thing. Looks about right. We're going to pop this up with that little edge. Move all this out of the way. And we're going to pop this up. How I can sit in one spot and lose stuff all the time is just, it amazes me. I just think I could do a magic act. If that's what somebody wanted was some stuff to disappear, I could make that happen. Do y'all ever have that in your craft room? Especially on videos. It's like, hello, you can tell I haven't moved. How can the dimensionals I was using just be gone and no longer on the table at all? It's crazy. Okay, now with our little take pick tool, and these little stems are kind of delicate, so be careful while you're pulling these backs off. Don't get rough. Okay, how was I doing that? We've got to audition our pieces again. I want to make sure I've got that about right, like I had it. I think that's pretty close. And I'm not sticking it down really hard until I get this straight here. I think that's pretty. Instead of that big bow. We didn't have to have the big bow. Do we want more leaves up there, or do we like the blank space? What do you think? You like it breathing a little? Now I don't have the other little flowers either that we were going to use. Could use part of those little things. Oh, my eye's itching. Okay. Let's get back after it, Kelly. Let's see. Maybe we just want 2 of these leaves. See how that works right there. Do you think that takes away from that, the white space, or do you like it? What do y'all think? Or do we need just a couple of little berries? That would be pretty if we did those. I thought a piece already cut. Good gosh. Oh well, we'll just cut a couple of these and see what we think. See if we like the berry look. I guess those are berries. It's almost like mistletoe berries or something, but not with these flowers. So I'm not sure what these are. I'm no horticulturalist. I'm more of a crafty gal. I really don't have time to do a lot of the gardening kind of stuff and flowers outside. In fact, we had faux flowers in our pots this summer. Yikes, I know that probably appalls some of you, but I would rather spend time crafting than pulling weeds. I think these 2 up there are too many. We're going to cut those dudes off. Maybe just have this one tucked in there. I think that finishes it off. I'm going to do that flat with the glue dot. Then I'm trying to reach around my light and camera stand. It'll just be kind of flat and hiding right back there. Now, so everybody's front of their card is gonna look different, of course. Okay, now for these pieces, we're gonna use tear and tape with this. And of course, you have seen me use 15 jillion kinds of adhesives, and that's because you need them all. You don't have to use a lot, but you need a lot of different ones. We're going to put a piece of tear and tape on both sides of the little brackets that are 1/2 inch. Let's see what they are. 3/4 inch by 1, scored at 1/2 inch. And I'm just going to cut those off. It's easier for me than tearing, so I'm just going to do that. And like I said, I have, believe it or not, I don't think I've ever done this fold before, or if I have, I don't remember at all. So we'll see how we make this work. Finding another bone folder because my other one disappeared. Okay, I'm going to cut that off, that tape, because I don't want that hanging over. You can also fold it, just fold it back over onto itself. I didn't do a very straight job, but it doesn't really matter. Okay. All these little particles out of the way. And I'm going to crease that. And that's that scored at 1/2 inch that I mentioned. I'll take the back off of both of those strips. And you can use your fingernails or you can use your Take a Pick tool, whatever works for you. Okay, so the folded one is going to go about in the center, right up next to the score line, right there. Okay, then we're going to take the other one, do the same thing, take the backing off. And put it right here on the other side of that score, kind of fairly centrally located. Then we're going to pop this on there. And the tearing tape is really strong so that it'll hold this. Now we're going to try to get it centered to start with. Top, bottom, left, right. And stick it down. Now it's going to pop out. How cute. Look at that. It looks like it would be more difficult than that, but it was easy. Pretty. I was afraid the other paper might have been too busy there, but this kind of is a little off center. So I think it's pretty though with this. That ties it all in very nicely. Okay, I think all we need to do is glue the back on, and we'll make sure that it lays down really well. You could use tearing tape there again, or we can just use liquid glue. Or you could use probably the Seal Plus, since this is going to have some stress on it. I probably wouldn't just use plain old Seal, but you might could. Let's make sure the back, yes, that's correct. I could see the writing right there, so I know that's the top. Okay, we're going to line that up as best we can, because this is what's nice about the liquid glue, is that it lets us move it just a little bit if we need to, because you want to make sure it will lay flat in the envelope. So both sides, I mean, everything needs to be straight, and if it's not, the liquid glue will let you move it just a tad. See? Okay, so you've got that. That means you're going to have to wiggle this side too. Did that go back where it was? I think it did. Probably be better to start at one end, get that totally even, then do the other one instead of doing like I did where I tried to get the middle first. Because that's only glued on both of those sides there. So now we have the back that pops out like that. Isn't that pretty? Look at that. I like it. Hope y'all like it too. If you wanted to decorate that more, you could put like a balmy blue panel and then a white panel on top. And then I really wish I had those pearls. Let's see, do we have any balmy blue? Might just want some little pearls. I'll be right back. How about that? I'm going to take this and I know right where they are. I'll be right back. And these are called Pearls of Beauty. And I use the whites a lot more. This comes from the Brushed with Beauty suite that is an online exclusive right now. And I just love these. I love the sheen, this pearlized look for the Calypso Coral Crumb Cake and for the white. I think they're just lovely. Let's see. Do we want one in the center of the flower? Perhaps. Be a little more traditional with it. And go flower center, flower center, flower center. Instead of sporadically putting them around. I think that's pretty. You could put them on that way if you wanted, but I think that's pretty since we have 3 flowers. We've got them all dressed up right there. And we have a happy birthday to someone worth celebrating every single day. Awesome. I love that. Hope y'all like it too. And that is Susan Campfield's fun fold that she found it somewhere else too. I'm not sure that she came up with it, but anyway, if y'all want to look up hers, she did one with a different suite that was really pretty. And she probably was a lot better at putting it together than I am because she's done it multiple times and this is my first. Okay, we'll switch the camera back over and I will say goodbye. Y'all let me know if you have any questions whatsoever. Here's the card and then you can see the 3D part. So it lays flat for the envelope and then you push it together and it will pop out like that and stand. There's the front and there's the back. So thanks a lot for your patience as we figured this card out together. And hope you have a happy new year and hope to talk to you soon. I'm going to try to do these videos every Monday afternoon at 2 o'clock Central Time. So hope you'll tune in and share with your crafty friends. We've got fun times ahead. Thanks again. Bye.